Hello everyone, welcome to Ring Diaries here at Church of Uganda Family TV with me, Fiona Mbowa, where we talk about anything and everything to do with marriage. We come to you not because we are experts at this, everyone has their own story, and we come to share real experiences with real people that you can relate with about how their marriages are and how we can all make our marriages better. With me this evening is Mr. Sam Mukabi, one of the people I've always looked up to. So for me, it is an honor to actually have you here.
Okay.
And he's been married for he's going to make 26 years in marriage.
August 8th.
August 8th. You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. So I think just briefly for people to understand, just briefly introduce yourself, and then we can get into the topic for today.
Wow, what a joy to be here indeed at Family TV, which talks about family, and I like that it's real because I always like it like that. So Sam Mukabi, married to Jalia Mukabi, August 8th, we are making 26 years. I have 4 children. The youngest is turning 19 in December. The other 3 turned 25, 23, and 21 in June. June 9th, June 10th, June 9th, and June 3rd. I think we call that family planning.
That is real family planning.
And as a family, we really have passion for family ministry, and that's why I and the right English is that's why Jari and I
yes.
we formed an organization called Beacon of Hope for Families Initiatives, and this is the ministry that we are doing, and we're seeing God bring a lot of hope in very hopeless situations.
Amen to that. And that brings me to the topic of discussion today, preparing for empty nesting. Now, for the sake of our viewers, what is an empty nest? I think it's a bit. What is empty nesting?
Well, empty nest, I think they get it from birds or which have a nest. They hatch their eggs. Then after brooding them, they lay, they brood, they lay. What is that thing? And then they hatch them. Okay, then they brood them, and then they grow, and then they leave the nest. So they remain empty. In effect, like for us as parents, we can't lay eggs and keep laying. When they go, they are gone. So, which means that you started 2, you end up 2, and so that's what empty nesting is all about.
So, thank you very much. So, growing up, we have seen parents, we have children, and the children are our center, and no one prepares us actually for when they leave, what we are supposed to do.
Yes.
And many times we find that's why we have either the mother moves with the boy, like he leaves the husband and actually moves with the son.
Yes.
or the daughter, or you find people at home and life has changed. So how do we prepare for that time when we are going to go back to the 2 as we started?
Yeah. Now many times actually when you see the mother picking either the children, I've seen also in cases where the fathers will pick their daughters.
Like pick them and...
No, like if you are going anywhere, instead of going with mommy, I'm going with the girl.
Yes,
and it's normally the reverse is true. The boys will gravitate towards mom, and the
girls
towards dad. Now, it took me time to know that when that is happening, sometimes an indication there is a missing link.
Okay.
And so people are trying to find what they need to fill the gap. So, so if you begin your relationship and the children are between you, and you know how they say, I'm here because of my children.
Yes, I'm staying here. If it wasn't for these children,
I will not be here. You know.
Now the children are not here.
Now the children are not there. So normally that's where the problem comes in, that when the relationship is not working, we find substitutes. And children are a natural substitute for each other.
Yes.
So instead of being there awkward moments, you rather go play with the children. Go. How are you? You're happy? Okay, let me come back, to divert the attention from what you should deal with.
Yes.
And so normally that's what brings that whole problem, that at the end of the day, when the children are gone, you have nothing to hang on.
So does that mean that actually problems are there, just that we ignore them because we
Yes.
have a distraction of children.
Yes.
So when the children go, now we are left with each other and we have
Yes,
to.
we don't know what to do. The only time we used to talk is when we are either sending a child or asking a child. Now they are not there, and you've not built a relationship. So your question about how do we prepare
How
for
do we
it
prepare?
is that I think it's Steve Covey wrote his book, which says the 7 habits of most successful people. One of the points, I think, is number 2. The law number 2 says begin with the, I think it's number 1. Begin with the end in mind. So, like as marriage, and especially Christian marriages, because ours is for life, because the Bible says God hates divorce. So the day we enter marriage, we need to know that this is for life, and if we have, by the grace of God, get people to join us, they are going to get off so they can have their own families. And so once that becomes the foundation on which you are building, the rest becomes easy, because I mean, I remember those days, the children were young. I think our firstborn must have been about 10, I think. We went for a wedding, and this gentleman also had 3 boys and a girl like me, and he was crying like a baby.
At the wedding.
At the wedding. And I'm like, why is he crying? I can't wait for mine to go. And people were saying,
let's wait.
Let's wait.
We give it time.
Let's give it time. But I'm thinking, as a parent, first of all, I want these guys to go so that we are just the 2 of us. Because you know, when the children are there are issues that come in, their school fees, there are issues that. So like you're dealing with those things more than we deal with ourselves. And sometimes when we're dealing with each other, it's because of them. And
where is the child going?
Where is the going? What are they going to do? And how mamas want to do things before time, and how daddies sometimes are last minute. And so, and I know many people have had fights
because of the children.
Because of the children.
That's true.
You know, where are they going to study?
That's an ongoing fight in my house.
They're going to
School,
study
yes.
Which school? And I remember me, I grew up as an orphan. My wife grew up as the firstborn of a very loving father who had money. So her concept of caring for children is totally
so different
from mine. Oh my God. Like sometimes I read a book that says Your Erroneous Zones. That's the title. But what made me read the book is because at the back of the book they have said, do you know that in every marriage bed there are 4 people? So I said, what do they mean? They say there's a child of the past. And in that book they say, you need to talk about your childhood until your children of the past can fall in love. So I started sharing my past, and she was traumatized because our lives were out of this world.
Opposite.
Oh my God, we climbed trees, we fell, like just listening to me. Just listening to me. I'll sit there and feel sad that my kids are not alive.
Falling.
They should be running up and down.
No.
I will never forget one time our son broke his arm. So they put the cast. So we are going somewhere. As we come entering back home, the guy was swinging using the broken hand.
Oh God!
My wife almost had a heart attack. So, and me, I was like, yeah, that's good. You look at him.
Why?
So what do you mean? You can't be laughing. I said, that means he's healed. What if it breaks again? The doctor said.
What's wrong with?
The doctor said they are still young, they connect quickly. So I said, that's no problem. It breaks, we connect again, but this is good. Oh, that was a quick one. And my wife is traumatized.
You're traumatizing me too.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to.
Okay.
You know, so which means when we're talking about preparing for it, the men and the women prepare differently.
Differently, yes.
Because for us, sometimes as men, it's like, I finish them, they leave us. Because for us,
I train them, they are ready.
They go because they're a burden. You see, that's how some people look at their children as a burden. Hey man, these children have spent money on this fees, it's not ending.
It's not ending.
Now, of course, the parents, the mom, as the children grow, oh, this guy is just so good.
Yes, see,
Oh
he can do this.
Yes, you know. And then, hey, will this child manage this? And I've also seen a big tension comes in especially when we are raising boys and girls. The way we raise boys is different,
so different
from the way we raise girls. Oh my God, sorry. For boys, it's okay, boss. Get up, let's go.
Walk it off.
Walk it off, man. Walk it off. That place is now far.
Oh.
You know, and like, so that alone can bring trouble. And then normally they once you step away, mama comes, it's okay.
Sorry,
Daddy
Daddy,
you know, and so that without realizing, that comes between you. And I'll never forget a time I sent my boy, I say, go to the market. And my wife was very busy, and then she like,
whom are you sending to the market?
It's hot. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? We used to look after cows. You go and you don't come back the whole day.
Years.
Yes, but they're same human beings. and before I would explain, she went for her purse and gave money for butter board. I'm like, you are spoiling these kids. But of course I know, if I come in and I say, give me back the money, we're now going to carry this back to the room. And then say, why did you do that? And of course the kids, the children are not going to like it. So I remember after some time we were working through it. So I got the boys, say, guys, I'm having a very, very big problem. The things I'm trying to do with you now should have happened before. But if they happened then, we'd be having a huge problem. So which problem? So for example, if I stretched you then, mom would have come on your side. And then you guys would be hating me, and that also will be projected to every authority in your life. And one of them said, oh, that would not be nice. I said, you see? So I thought to myself, I will pray for a long life, so that as you guys grow up,
I can explain that
we can now stretch. But you see, it would have been much easier if we had done it when we were still young. And like, so like, wow. So you have to think about all these things. This parenting thing is not easy.
It's not easy.
I say, yeah, because, you know, when we have you as our children, we want you to grow and go and be in the community and bless the world. And so we have to equip you for that world.
So in the same way, you need to prepare these children for the world. Okay, for me, I would want them to be prepared to go out. But on the other hand, we also need to prepare ourselves for when they leave.
Yes. So the reason why we cannot prepare ourselves very well is sometimes because we have not prepared them very well.
So we are worried about what they're going to face.
And then without realizing, we are creating attachments. And once you have many attachments, they weaken this other attachment. And so for me, even when we were still young, my dream car is a convertible with 2 seats. You know, so we don't even have to give anybody a lift.
Where do we draw the line on being mean?
No, I mean, I think for me, I'm not looking at it from the perspective of meanness. I'm looking at it from the perspective of these people are going to go anyway. So when they go, how do they leave us?
So bottom line, as you've said, from the beginning, we know these people actually just visit us.
Yes.
This is more important than these people.
Yeah.
But the people who have done that are actually being looked at as they're not, maybe you're not giving your children enough time, you're not prioritizing your children, yet they should be priority for this time that they are with you.
So prioritizing them also depends. When you say I'm prioritizing them, what do you mean? Are you prioritizing them by replacing yourselves or removing yourself? Or you say, okay, at this time, this is what they need. Because I realize that's why normally coaches don't stay in the field, they stay out. So they say, okay, who is not shooting, who is not doing their beat. But if you say they are a priority, you end up getting
piloting,
involved.
You're just
you get involved in the playing. Yet you are supposed to be as a coach, watching and say, is this working? Where do we need to add in? Where do we need to, you know, separate? Okay, so these guys are going to leave us. How will they manage life out?
How will they manage life?
You know, like of course, again, given my background, I had very weird things of training them. Like P7 back, I come with a child to Kampala, put them on a taxi at night, and they go back home. No phones. Okay, I prepared them.
Do you hate your children? That would be my question.
No, and the
A
time we
P7
did,
child.
yes, at the time we did, this girl, that time there was Chibabana, they were stealing babies.
But no.
So my wife said, you can't do that, it's my only girl. I say, you're
Yes.
still young, you produce another one. But
Really? Produce another one, it won't be the same.
I know.
So by putting this girl on a taxi back to take herself back to Masaka, what are you doing?
I'm trying to help them know that you can actually live this life alone.
I can send my child in P5 to the shop next door. Now I'm starting to think, anyway, maybe this was for me. So it is prepare this child.
Yeah, prepare the child. Prepare the child to... Okay, what if you guys died in an accident, the two of you, and the child has to go to the village?
And they've never been to a shop.
And they've never been to the shop. It's like, then they get married to a child who grew up going to the shop. They will say, what's wrong with this chick? This chick is not serious. And the chick says, I don't know how to do it. And they're like, are you mad? You know? But so, and I think for me, especially Christian parents of these days, they are raising their children in a safe space.
Yes. You don't want them to interact with people who will harm them.
And then you are wondering how they will get to that place and manage. You know, there was a time I noticed that our last born had eaten his nails, like biting, I think they call it. And they were bleeding. I said, stop! And you stop, then you put them in the mouth. So what's going on? So I Googled and nail biting. And they said it's, what did they call it? An advanced, I think, depression sign. I said, but this baby is our last born. My goodness
What
me.
is depressing?
Why is this pressing this? And I could not. So I asked him about school. He says, I don't want to go back to school. And he started crying. I said, okay, don't go back. My mother said, no, he has to go. I said, no, he's not going back to school. You'll never go back to school. So I had to, be telling my wife, it's okay.
Trust me.
So the guy stayed home. I went and, prepared for him eggs. We did the Spanish omelette. He liked it. Said, when I go to school, I miss all this. Then when we finished, of course, we did arm wrestling. He beat me the first time. I also beat him the second one. He says I cheated. And then he beat me again. Then I beat him. Of course, he beat me. Then he was feeling very tall. Like he sat in my seat. Beaten daddy. We are on draw. Tomorrow after I eat more eggs, I'm beating him.
No more school.
No more school. He was so happy. So that afternoon, I brought it as like, hey boss. So this school, what was the problem there? I said, there's some small boy like this. He's been beating me. He steps on me. That's why I don't want to go back to school again. I said, why? Nothing. He just comes and steps on me. So then what did you do? I reported to the teacher. And then the teacher, when the teacher beat him, he stepped on me more. He told me if I report again, he will beat me again. Then when I reported to the teacher said, you are like a woman. I put on serious drama. He called you a woman? Let's go. Say, Daddy, let's not go because I'm not going back to the school. I said, no, how can they call my boy a man? Oh, I acted like somebody is dying today. Then I kept quiet. I said, but you know what you are going to do? You say he's small? I said, yeah, he's short like this. I said, shorter than you? Yes. I said, okay. I want you to go back on Monday. You said I'm not going back. I said, no. That boy is making other boys suffer in school. So I want you to go back on Monday. And after parade, you go to him, grab him like this, move him to your face. Say, but Dad, you said for us Christians, we don't fight.
You don't fight.
I know. You are not fighting. You are telling him to stop beating other children. So I asked him if somebody came here and was beating mommy and beating you, what do you expect me to do? I want you, you have to defend us. That's what I'm teaching you, boss. So what if I hold him and he fights? I say, no, when he holds him like this, push him so hard and tell him, if you ever touch me again. But Daddy.
What lesson? Okay.
I'm teaching him to survive. Because small people are bullying him. Now I'm losing my son. And if I go to school and report again the child, they will get him on the way and beat him more.
Yes.
But if he deals with this particular
he learns how to protect himself.
Yes. So he goes, and then he comes back. My boy was tall. He was walking. I said, what is it, son? He says, I'm our man. So what do you mean our man? Then he gave me the story. We
What
grabbed
happened?
him and he told him, if you ever touch me, I'll eat you. I don't know why he got off eating. I pushed him and he fell down. Nimkanga. Our man.
So he's our man.
Next day he was back to school. The nails grew back. Because I realized the only way you can deal with stuff like this is when you build up the boys' confidence to live in the world.
So while we are thinking that by protecting these children, we're actually helping them, they're creating actually a bigger problem.
Yes, a bigger problem. And that bigger problem, when it comes, you will not be there. They'll take advantage of them in their places of work. Even themselves, they will fear to face life. Recently, my daughter called me and said that, I just want to appreciate you. All those things you did, which we sometimes thought they were mean, have really equipped us. We are in school and people look at me and they think I'm strange. The way I look at life has really changed because you taught us that, hey, work with what is there. And that's why, like, for me, I can't wait for them to go because I want to see what the investment, how has it helped them.
So this preparation, did you learn it from somewhere or it was inborn? The preparation you've done for the children themselves? Okay,
me, I grew up as an orphan. And then when I became a pastor, I was a pastor for 4 years before I married. That put me in a place where I saw, I would look at people struggling and I wonder, why are they struggling? And where's their father? Nang, he's there, he minds his own business. But he likes the children. When he comes, that is for sure. When he gets home, he doesn't want, even if you say, please help them with homework, he doesn't want. So like for me, I was looking at, what is happening in other people's family? I don't want it here. Then I also don't want my children to grow up as orphans. So I really made up my mind, whatever it takes, I'll do it. And then of course, as you begin with them, you realize, if I raise this the way I was raised, it's not going to work because the generation has changed. So you step back and watch again. And but for me, I think the real turning point happened when our daughter went to S1. King's College Budo. So she comes back, like first time we are all seated around her.
Excited
and she's
to have
talking.
her.
So, okay, hey, excuse me, everybody. I am officially, she was very, very dramatic. I'm officially a celeb at school. Thanks to you guys. I'm like, And of course, now I'm feeling proud. Say, what is it? Yeah, when you left, there's this girl who came running. And I said, are you related to that man? Say, yeah, that's my dad. Oh my God, let me come back. When I went and brought with others, you come. This is the girl of the other man who helped my mom and dad to come back together. And so then, of course, yes, the story was the guy had left home, and he'd make a phone call to go and get a house. So when he comes, I was completing 15 minutes closing the talk I'd been having, and that just opened his mind to go back and say, let's try again, because my parting shots, there's no marriage which is too bad if one person is willing. And so they went back and it worked out. So of course now I'm feeling good. Then she suddenly pauses. Say, but wait, Daddy, you move everywhere and teaching everybody, changing people. When will you teach us? I said, what do you mean? Yeah, like us, your children. I said, by the way, that she becomes serious. You have 3 boys. Oh, Jacob, you will cry. So what do you want me to do? Do a seminar, do whatever. I said, would you be interested? Look at that. The Bible said, train up a child. Make it interesting. So, and I'd heard about Pastor Mbogo, who said he has a seminar for his children, I think once every year. So I decided to do once every term. So it's in those seminars that I've learned a lot. You ask them, what should we learn about next time? Of course, they were younger then. When they grew up, they make the presentations and they facilitate, and so that's really helped us.
Let's pause there. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to continue with this conversation about how Pastor Mukabi has prepared the children to the point that because they are ready, you're also ready to actually be without them. Don't go away. I'm Fiona Mbowa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries.